play for your brother and leave it all on the field. Every bit of it.
Tonight on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, Saturday night.
Here's right at the 10. Gets a good block across the 5. Touchdown, Kentucky!
I've only been in this a short time as a head coach, but I know what goes around comes around, so believe me. I'm not one to be spouting off about anything.
Mark Stoops and the Football Cats go down to Columbia.
With Mark Stoops, I think, has done an excellent job there, and they're very close to being a winning team, and very easily could be this year.
Old ball coach and his team had a front row seat to the JoJo Kemp show last year. See if the Gamecocks could get revenge. Plus, U-Pike and Point meet for the first time.
Point's going to be an athletic football team. They played Bluefield last week, created a lot of turnovers early in the game, and created themselves a nice little lead that they sort of leaned on throughout the rest of the ball game.
We'll also take a look back at Friday night's high school football action and look ahead to Week 4. Are you ready?
All right, see you guys this weekend.
We're ready.
He ran through a tackle at the 3-yard line. Worthy just trucked it.
Let's start the show.
I'm Coach Zach Willis, head football coach at Union College. The Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night starts now.
As Coach Willis said, it starts now.
Sounded like you had to practice that a few times, though.
Yeah, it was like a third
Saturday
take.
night.
Saturday night. It was like his third take. So more than 1,200 minutes of football played on the road against SEC teams, but not a single win. Welcome into the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night alongside Lauren Cash. I'm Jamie McCracken. We hope you'll stick with us for the next 40 minutes or so because we're at home and we never lose at home.
That's a very good statistic.
Never.
The Football Cats on the road tonight playing an SEC game with the South Carolina Gamecocks, and Kentucky has not won a conference road game since 2009. However, they did beat South Carolina last year at home at Commonwealth Stadium.
Yeah, big time. JoJo Kemp went off, and last year the Gamecocks came into Lexington. They lost 45-38. Thanks mainly to JoJo, but again, like Lauren said, a 20-game losing streak on the road against SEC teams. Here we go, a longer losing streak than that, though. Kentucky at South Carolina. The Wildcats haven't won down in Columbia since 1999. Old ball coach Mark Stoops ready to go. Third play of offense for Kentucky, backed up in South Carolina's end zone, and Patrick Tolles feels the pressure and basically throws it right to Sky Moore. Third interception of the season for Moore, 10th on his career. That's almost a pick six. Another look at Tolles. Faced a lot of pressure there and throws the pick. So Gamecock ball, Connor Mitch from a yard out. 7-0 South Carolina. So a quick TD after an interception. You can't make those mistakes, especially on the road. Didn't look good for Kentucky early. 8 minutes to go in the game now. Kentucky drives down the field, and Mikel Horton, he had 2 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. There's his touchdown. That's a 10-play, 80-yard drive. Tolles was 5 of 6 for 57 yards on that drive, and the game is tied at 7 apiece. Next Cats possession, it's JoJo. JoJo Kemp in from 2 yards out. UK outgaining SC 158 total yards to 235 so far. And here comes JoJo again. He's not done. Kemp, 27-yard gain. He had 13 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown. Drive stalls. Out comes Austin McGinnis. 29-yard field goal good. Kentucky leads 17-7. 2 minutes to go in the half. Same score. Tolles. Little fake handoff to Kemp, and he's going deep. Jeff Badette. Goodness, what a grab. Another look here. He beats the corner, he beats the safety, he beats everybody. 43 yards on the catch. 4 plays later, Kentucky at the 1, and Tolles. Got to do something. Punches it in from a yard out. He decides to run it 24-7. Kentucky leads at the half. Ball coach, what's happening?
Beautiful, right? No, it was tough. It was a hard-fought game. We knew it was going to be that way. We tried to set the tone right at the beginning of the halftime break, and right before we went back out, we knew it was not going to be easy. These games always seem to come down to a possession or two. I was very proud. Again, it was another opportunity for our team to grow, and very proud to come out with a victory. It wasn't pretty, but proud of our team.
All right. Hopefully we'll redo those highlights a little later. Kentucky tonight wins 26-22. The next game, Kentucky will face Florida, the Gators. That'll be next Saturday at home, 7:30 kickoff at Commonwealth Stadium. Again, we will rerun those highlights. Old ball coach had something to say at halftime, and then later on Kentucky would end up winning again 26-22.
All right, switching gears now. We're going to go to basketball.
John Calipari.
Yes. He was honored this weekend, all weekend long, in Massachusetts for the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Naismith Hall of Fame, and Kentucky Wildcats TV did a really cool piece. Let's go to it now.
Check it out.
I'm particularly honored and humbled to be asked to say a few words on this momentous occasion. Through this great game, we coaches have learned from its founder, Dr. Naismith, a Presbyterian chaplain from Canada, that our true meaning is to teach values and have a positive influence on the lives of those we work with. Thank you. There's no way, and I tried to, if I did not grab you, when I walk out, grab you, because every one of you are here because you played a part in this. I mean, we got players from different eras. I've got friends and family, and everywhere we've been, it's been all of us together fighting like crazy, and obviously, I'm getting rewarded because of everybody in this room. But I want to do one thing, if I could. Can all you guys come up here before we go over? And I said players, staff too, all you guys come on up. Tonight I get like 8 to 10 minutes. And I'm talking fast and trying to introduce as many people, and I'm just telling you, I'm not going to get to everybody. And it's very few, other than family and a few other people, that I have a chance to speak on. But I'm telling you from my heart, what you all have done for my family, just can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
All right, 9 new members in the Naismith Hall of Fame, along with Calipari Dampier. This class includes the finger wagon Dikembe Mutombo, JoJo White, the Wonder Boy is in, John Isaac, Spencer Haywood, who played 12 years in the NBA, scoring more than 14,000 points, grabbed over 7,000 rebounds, and won an NBA championship with the Los Angeles Lakers in 1980, and 8-time WNBA All-Star Lisa Leslie. Also into the Hall, coaches Tommy Henson and Lindsay Gaze.
All right, let's redo those highlights tonight. Old ball coach, South Carolina and Kentucky playing tonight. First offensive possession for Kentucky. This was the third play of the game, and Patrick Tolles is picked up by Sky Moore. Third interception of the season for Moore, 10th of his career. Another look at the pressure Tolles was facing here. Oh. So, Gamecock ball, Connor Mitch from a yard out. And just like that, it's 7-0 South Carolina. You can't turn the ball over if you're on the road. Quick TD right after the interception. 8 minutes to go now in the game. Kentucky drives down the field, and Mikael Horton. Oh, big man's game. He had 2 carries for 20 yards, a 10-play, 80-yard drive with an 8-yard touchdown run right there. Tolles was 5 of 6 for 57 yards on that drive, so he made up for his interception, Lauren. Game time at 7. Next Cats possession, it's JoJo. JoJo Kemp in for 6 from 2 yards out. UK outgaining SC 158 total yards to 35 so far. JoJo, he just getting started. Second quarter, same score. Kemp, 27-yard gain. Drive stalls, though. Out comes Austin McGinnis, 29-yard field goal.
Taking care of business, though.
Kentucky leads 17-7. 2 minutes to go in the half. Same score. You got to be happy. 10-point lead. Tolles in the shotgun. Drops back. Fires. Jeff Badette.
That closing speed.
Everything from the get-go.
What I would do to run that fast.
Seriously. He beats the corner, he beats the safety, he beats everybody.
Take
43 yards on the catch. 43 yards. 4 plays later, Tolles. Uh-oh. I'll just run it in. Punches it in, 24-7 at the half. What's going on, all ball coach? What in the world is wrong with your team? You're down by 17.
Yeah, they're running, they're throwing, they're doing about what they want to. and we can't make a third down. So we're getting thoroughly beat. Hopefully we can do something to change it.
All right, then, second half, Gamecocks hit 3 field goals, so Kentucky up just 24-16 the fourth quarter. Perry Oath completes it to Jarrell Adams. Haas stepping into the end zone, 33-yard TD. They got to go for 2 in the tie. Brent Musburger with the call here.
That's a live ball, everybody. Here we go. Foot race. This could be a big 2 the other way. They botched the 2-point conversion, and the Kentucky Wildcats strike with
Well, that's how you do it.
Homeboy was running for some cheesecake in that end zone.
Big time, the Cheesecake Factory. Go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Kentucky, again, they win tonight, 26-22. Second year in a row they beat South Carolina, but this is the first time they beat South Carolina at South Carolina since 1999. And you see the full-screen scoreboard right there. It's also the last SEC road win since November 21, 2009 at Georgia. A couple stats to look at. Again, Kentucky 26, South Carolina 22. Patrick Tolles completes 21 of his 29 passes, 192 yards, and a rushing touchdown. That's it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, I was 9 years old in 1999.
I was too. We're
Nice,
in the same age.
nice to see that. Nice to see that streak end. All right, now up next on the show, UPike hosts Point Georgia. We'll have highlights and post-game reacts.
Yes, plus Bobby Petrino blames himself.
It's my responsibility. I didn't do a good job throughout the week of getting us prepared on the field.
Meanwhile, Bobby P is mad after his Cards played the Houston Cougars. Point Georgia's football program is in its just 4th year of its existence, and the Skyhawks meeting with UPike Bears for the first time ever today.
Yeah, both teams are just 1-1. UPike coming off a loss at Campbell. Let's go out to Howard Field for some Bears and Skyhawk football. Former Belfry Pirate Sonny Warren, one of the captains in Saturday's game against Point. Second possession of the game for UPike, Elijah Bell. The Henry Clay speedster takes the handoff and off he goes. 34 yards crossing into Skyhawk territory. Big gain on the first down. Well, that run helps sets up this. A few plays later, Quan Weaver finds the end zone from 5 yards out. Bears on the board with 7 first. Next possession for Point. They respond. Charles Fortis connects with Charles Duckworth. The Charles connection. I bet they've never heard that. Tied up at 7. Still first quarter now. Back come the Bears, and it's Weaver again off the screen. Dances the sideline, somehow stays in bounds, and he's off to the races. 63 yards for the touchdown. The extra point, no good. Dive in there. You deserve it. 13-7 Bears. Second quarter, R.J. Roseman in at QB. How about Weaver again? Dodges a few defenders. Check this out. Whoop! Hurdles another, steps in, sets up the Bears in the red zone. Weaver finished with 142 yards on the ground, 28 carries. A few plays later, Roseman, QB keeper right there. UPike went into the locker room down 28-26, and as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, the Bears had several opportunities down the stretch to get the win, but they could not close it out. Point goes into Pikeville and wins it 36-33. Here's Bears head coach Al Hahn Jr. after the loss.
You know, we just let some opportunities slip away from us. Just stopped executing at different points, and you know, they had an interception that kid made a nice play and gave them a little momentum there going into halftime. Came out the second half and got things back on track, but just couldn't find a way to finish today. And we got to learn from these moments. You know, this is another non-conference game, and you got to use these non-conference games to learn. So when we get back into conference play, we'll be ready to go and to fight to try to get to the top.
All right, staying on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, UVA-Wise gets shut out by Notre Dame, Ohio, 42-0. The Cavaliers post just 189 yards of total offense on 71 plays. The Cavs will come back home next weekend to host Shepherd, West Virginia. Meanwhile, Morehead State also loses on the road to VMI, 43-40. A 12-play, 72-yard drive sets up the winning kick for the Cadets, and the Eagles now 0-2 on the year. EKU at North Carolina State. The Colonels get shut out too on the road. They lose 35-0 and only put up a total of 112 yards. EKU now 1-20 since 1998 against FBS schools. Well, the home opener for the Louisville Cardinals at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium today.
Yeah, 13-point favorite against a former conference foe in the Houston Cougars. A neutral site loss to number 6 Auburn is how they started the season last week.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a little bit better. All right, Bobby Petrino and his Cardinals looking for the first win of the year. hosting Houston. First quarter, no score. Greg Ward hits Stephen Dunbar. 29-yard touchdown pass. Houston with the early 7-0 lead. Louisville responds. Lamar Jackson, the freshman, goes over to Charles Stanberry. There's another Charles.
Charles.
He fights his way, just gets to the 1-yard line, though. Next play, Jackson, I got you. 1 yard out for Jackson. Game tied at 7. A minute to go in the second quarter. Cards down 3 now. Jackson's still in, and he hits Jaquay Savage. Cards take a 14-10 lead into halftime recess. Third quarter, after a Louisville field goal on the ensuing kickoff. Brandon Wilson back to receive. Breaks a tackle. Wait.
No.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
He could have just taken a knee in the end zone, you know.
Yeah.
That would have made it easier. Instead, he wanted to run 103 yards.
Yeah. I said insert 100 emoji here. As he just took it back to 100. 17 apiece. Back and forth we go, fourth quarter. Kyle Bolin, he's in. He handed it off to Jeremy Smith there from 4 yards out. Louisville back up 24-20. Houston not done, though. Greg Ward rolls left and finds Linnell Bonner in the end zone. 27-24. Houston back on top, but Bolin giving the Cards a spark. Chucks it deep. Mickey Crum comes up with it. A 29-yard touchdown strike, 31-24 Louisville. But the Cardinals defense, I mean, Houston, they had all kinds of problems.
I see what you did there.
For real. Ward connects to Demarcus Ayers, 34-31. Final shot for the Cards, a chance to tie it. John Wallace lines up for a 53-yarder. That's shortcake. We've had cheesecake, now we've had shortcake.
Shortcake. We like desserts here.
Cards fall to Houston. Go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, please. 34-31. Now 0-2 on the year for Louisville. Oh. They'll have Clemson coming into town Thursday night. Cards give up 462 yards of total offense. Hey, check out the Houston locker room afterwards. All right, so there's the Houston locker room bumping to some future. They're happy. Meanwhile, the other side not so happy. Here's Bobby P.
It's my responsibility. I didn't do a good job throughout the week of getting us prepared on the field. You know, we always talk around here that you earn the right to win on the practice field, and we didn't get that done. You know, offensively, we weren't able to move the ball early. We turned it over, made mistakes when we got in scoring positions. Lamar struggled. There's no question about that. And then when Kyle came in, he did give us a lift. We did get back to a little bit of normal offense and move the ball, but it wasn't enough. And, you know, defensively, I'm very disappointed. We didn't tackle well. We didn't run full speed to the ball like we normally do. And in critical situations and critical plays, you know, we didn't make the play and they did. And I thought that was the difference in the game.
Papa Cash was shaking his head in that game. He was not happy. Former Hazard Bulldog Chris Hudson and the Miami, Ohio Redhawks traveling to Wisconsin. Tough game for the Redhawks. You see there, pass gets tipped, intercepted, kind of the theme of the game. And the Badgers would capitalize a lot on Miami's miscues. 13-yard touchdown pass and catch here from Robert Wheelwright to Joel Stave. And we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Wisconsin cruises 58-0 over Miami, Ohio. Chris Hudson added 2 catches for 31 yards in the Red Hawk loss. Miami, Ohio drops to 1-1 on the season, while the Badgers notch their first win on the year.
Okay, staying on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard earlier this week on Thursday, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, Lauren's alma mater.
Woo woo!
Go Tops.
2-0.
Now 2-0 on the season with a 41-38 win over Louisiana Tech. WKU travels to Indiana next Saturday to take on the Hoosiers out of the Big Ten Conference. Meanwhile, Marshall on the road tonight at Ohio, and the Thundering Herd falls 21-10 to the Bobcats. Well, coming up next on the show, the 23rd ranked Tennessee Volunteers hosting the number 19 Oklahoma Sooners.
Yes, plus number 6 Auburn takes on Jacksonville State. Here's a preview. Check it out.
Here's Pope, scoots it to the outside, he will walk it in, touchdown, Gamecocks, they have the lead in the fourth quarter.
A top 25 matchup going on down in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Jamie.
Yeah, number 23 Tennessee welcoming in 19th ranked Oklahoma. A tough place to go on the road early in the season,
yes.
No matter who you are. Tennessee hosting Oklahoma Sooners in Knoxville. Baker Mayfield is picked off by Todd Kelly Jr. Got 3 names, must be pretty good. 3-0 Tennessee after a field goal. Still in the first, Joshua Dobbs rolls right, then throws with his right hand. Josh Malone grabs it.
Josh to Josh.
Josh to Josh. 10-0 Volunteers. Dobbs now on the run. 4 yards out, 17-0, but Oklahoma makes the second half comeback. Sooners win it in double overtime, 31-24.
The 10th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs traveling into Vanderbilt, both opening up SEC play this afternoon. Scoreless in the first quarter, the Commodores forced a punt. Isaiah McKenzie fields it, and off he goes. Following his blockers, he goes 77 yards for the Bulldog touchdown, and Georgia grabs the 7-0 lead early in the game. Late third quarter, we go now. Vandy down 17-6, make it 24-6. Grayson Lambert runs in from 5 yards out. Georgia gets the conference win easily, 31-14 down in Nashville.
Fresno State hoping to do a little better than what UT Martin did last week against Ole Miss. The Rebels put up 76 points in that game. First quarter, no score. Chad Kelly to Cody Core. 14-yard touchdown pass. Ole Miss up 7-0, 3 minutes into the game. Next possession for Ole Miss, Kelly. This time I'll just keep it. Kelly accounts for 4 touchdowns on the day, make it 14-0 Ole Miss. Ryan Buchanan in now for Ole Miss, up 28-0, but oh! Let's see what happens when you go to the backup quarterback. Picked off. Shannon Edwards, 56 for a pick 6. Fresno down still by 3 touchdowns. They put Kelly back in because they learned their lesson.
Definitely.
346 yards on the day in the air for Kelly, and he hits Quincy Adebajoy. Attaboy. Yeah, Ole Miss puts up 70-plus points for the second straight week, 73-21, the final over Fresno State.
Seems like they really needed to put in their starting quarterback back in.
Real.
Alabama hosting Middle Tennessee State. Crimson Tide recovered a fumble, and then they do this. Robert Foster, the screen pass from Jeff Coker, 19-yard touchdown, 7-0 Bama. Now 14-3 in the second. Coker, the short shovel pass to Kenyon Drake, and Drake goes around the corner 69 yards all the way down to the Middle Tennessee 1-yard line.
Drake started from the bottom, now we're here.
Anyway, 21-3 just then. Cooper Bateman now in the game. He throws to Drake, who again finds the end zone for another Alabama score, and Alabama rolls the Blue Raiders 37-10, the final in Tuscaloosa.
Okay. Wild game today at Auburn. The number 6 rated Tigers hosting Jacksonville State. Second quarter, Auburn up 6-0. Eli Jenkins to Josh Barge. Oh, he caught that. 11-yard touchdown, 10-6 Jacksonville State. Same score in the third quarter, Jeremy Johnson. Now this guy's got a sweet name. You think Drake's cool? How about Rock? Rock Thomas.
That's pretty bold.
51 to the house. 13-10 Auburn. Game tied at 13 now. Cinderella not done. This may be your house, but we're making it our house today. Tremoyne Pope gets the lead for the Tigers. It's 20-13 Jacksonville State. 45 seconds to go in the game. Now Johnson. They need a score. Hits Melvin Ray. 10 yards out. What a catch.
Melvin's pretty cool, too.
That's cool, too. 20-20. Overtime we go. Peyton Barber from 4 yards out. Auburn strikes first. Last play for the tie or win as Jacksonville State needs something. Eli Jenkins needs it. Josh Barge, yeah, he doesn't have it. He has it, but he's out of bounds. That doesn't count. Auburn squeaks by 27-20 in OT.
All right, let's check out some other SEC scores on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Toledo stuns number 18 Arkansas at home, 16-12 the final score. Texas A&M notches another win on the year, 56-23 the final score over the Ball State Cardinals. And Missouri goes down on the road against Arkansas State and guts one out, 27-20 the final score.
You're really not digging my rapping.
No, not at all. Coming up next on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night, our sports director, Josh McKinney, will join us.
Oh, no, our boss is here. Yeah, fun night Friday night out on the high school football fields. Josh will cap off the week and look ahead to the week 4 of high school football season.
Jamie, I feel like we're rolling through the high school football season. We just put away week 3 of the high school season.
Yeah, it's going really fast, but it's still hot outside, so that's a good thing.
That's true.
All right, to recap this week's high school football action, we check in with our bosses in studio. Yeah, it's got to be good for a little bit. Josh McKinney is in the locker room. What's up, boss?
You say it's hot, but I was freezing today in Jackson County while it was raining.
Boo-hoo.
Looking at the high school football schedule for week 3, there wasn't a whole lot of games that jumped off the page. However, there were some statement performances, and a few eye-openers. Here is this week's Lee's Famous Recipe Hazard and Whitesburg 2-minute drill.
For the first time this season, Mother Nature decided to make her presence felt across the high school football landscape, with several games experiencing some sort of delay. However, others were able to carry on with their regularly scheduled festivities.
Our hearts, minds, and souls were heavy,
including our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. In a battle of teams searching for their first win, Magoffin County blanked Betsy Lane 42-0. If you like big plays, you would have enjoyed Pike Central's display at Perry Central. Touchdowns of 38 and 41 yards on the Hawks' first 2 drives set the tone for a 42-8 blowout. Number 9 Paintsville fell behind Ridgeview, Virginia early, but proceeded to run off 40 unanswered points, blowing past the Wolfpack 40-3, improving to 4-0. Speaking of putting up points, how about Knott Central and South Floyd? Each team entered the game 1-1, and each team played like it had something to prove. The Patriots 50, Raiders 40. In a meeting of 2 of the area's winningest programs, Hazard staged a second-half comeback to beat the Somerset Briar Jumpers 28-25. The Bulldogs are now 3-1 on the year. And 2 storied programs trying to overcome slow starts. Prestonsburg and Breathitt County battled closely early before the Black Cats, behind the running of Dalton Frazier, pulled away for the 40-14 win. Despite Mother Nature's best efforts, Week 3 is in the books. Week 4, we're looking to you for some sunny relief. This has been your Lee's Famous Recipe Hazard and Whitesburg 2-minute drill.
Let's take a look at some of the bigger games on tap for next week. On our big games board, we begin with our game of the week with Harlan County visiting number 3 Johnson Central, a huge Pike County rivalry in Pond Creek, with number 2 Belfry hosting number 9 Pikeville. The Southwestern Warriors visit Corbin in another top 10 matchup, number 4 versus number 5 there. Mike Holcomb returns to Jackson as his Letcher Central Cougars battle Breathitt County. The Hazard Bulldogs go north to Floyd County for a date with the Prestonsburg Black Cats. And number 7 Bell County journeys to Williamsburg to play the Whitley County Colonels. Now, more rain today, just like yesterday. A wet one in McKee for Jackson County, Pendleton County, and it was not warm. Just opposite of what Jamie said. Neither team able to do much offensively early on. Austin Stoll chased down in the backfield by Jared Allen for the sack. For the Wildcats, a group of defenders surround Miles Hurst for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. Next Pendleton possession, Stoll gives it to Griffin Appleman, but Appleman puts it on the ground. Fumble recovered by Hurst. Generals take over. The Generals would fumble it right back to Pendleton, so the Wildcats at it again. Stoll goes to the air, and Hurst this time gets himself an INT. And that turnover sets us up for our Falls Auto Group drive of the night. The Generals begin the drive on the Pendleton County 29-yard line, and all they needed were 2 plays. That was 1, this is 2. A 1-yard gain for Hurst, followed by a 28-yard burst by Jacob Bingham. Breaks the tackle en route to the end zone, 2-point conversion, 8-0. To the second quarter, Bingham, another carry, runs it up the gut for a Jackson County first down into Wildcat territory, and then a U-Pike top play contender. Next play is Hurst on the keeper, tries to get around the edge, and once he does, he's gone. 42 yards down the sideline, and get out of my way. General touchdown, 16-0. But as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, you will see that Pendleton County scores 29 fourth-quarter points to win it. 29-22 the final in Jackson County. One other high school game going on within the coverage area this evening. The Harlan Green Dragons win one at home over the Bracken County Polar Bears. They win the mascot challenge. 28-21 the final there. Guys, my time on the show is done, but there's a lot more to come on the show, right?
Yeah, you just own that block.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't want to start. You know he complained about it being warm up there, or he said it was cold up there, excuse me.
Well, it rained on me, and then it was like 70 degrees, and then it rained, and it was cold. So I don't want to hear it from either one of you guys.
I got to stay inside today. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Lauren. Up next, a brand new segment on Sports Overtime Saturday night. We call it Sports Overtime Rewind. Her idea.
Yes, yay. For the first segment, we spotlight the 2001 season of the Fleming Neon Pirates. Stick around and check it out. Tonight we start a brand new segment on Sports Overtime Saturday night called Sports Overtime Rewind, where we look back on memorable moments out of the mountains through the years. Tonight we start with a look back to the 2001 season when the Fleming Neon Pirates had a run to the region final to remember. Check it out in the first ever Sports Overtime Rewind. Let's turn back the clock to 14 years ago. It's 2001. The Miami Hurricanes were in the midst of a perfect season and future national champions.
Center field, the Diamondbacks are world champions.
Luis Gonzalez hits a walk-off single in Game 7 of the World Series to give the Arizona Diamondbacks their first ever World Series championship. And the Fleming Neon Pirates were poised to make a run in the Class A playoffs. Heading into Week 3 of the 2001 high school football season, the Pirates were 2-0 and hitting the road to district rival Paintsville. The Pirates walked off Memorial Field victorious 27-18, improving their undefeated record to 3-0. Fast forward now to Week 13. Fleming Neon is sporting an 11-1 record and the #1 seed in the district tournament. They cleared through Everts and Hazard on their way to their first region final game since 1966, facing none other than the Paintsville Tigers. It was a matchup of two mounting Class A powers. Both Paintsville and Fleming Neon had no problem putting points on the board. They ranked first and third in top scoring teams in Class A that season. The Tigers averaging 42.8 points per game, the Pirates just under 40 a game. Even though Fleming Neon won the regular season battle back in Week 3, it was the Tigers that won the war in the region final. Paintsville went into Letcher County and knocked the Pirates out of the playoffs with a 50-28 win. The first region final since 1966 for Fleming Neon. And it was the closest they would ever get again. The following 3 seasons would be the last for Fleming Neon football, and the Pirates only posted 6 total wins before consolidating with Letcher and Whitesburg into Letcher County Central. Well, so this is a new segment we're trying out called Sports Overtime Rewind, where we look back at memorable moments in mountain sports history. If you have any ideas or teams to spotlight, please feel free to send us some information. We'd love to hear from you. You can email us at sportsrelease@wymt.com or tweet at us at sportsovertime.
I like the idea and I like how it started. That's cool.
Thank you. Up next, we'll name this week's Play of the Week, and it's finally NFL season.
Yay, definitely your favorite part of Lauren's life is NFL season. We'll preview some of the games from the first football Sunday of the 2015 season. Now time to unveil our Play of the Week. We go back out to McKee. Jackson County running back Miles Hurst around the corner and bye. Get off me, man. Bye. 42 yards to the end zone, runs over a defender as you saw in the progress. The score gave the Generals a 16-0 lead. Watch it again. Get off me. Miles Hurst providing us with this week's Play of the Week, but they would fall to Pendleton County, Jackson County Road.
Do you know why I'm smiling?
Because you just told me that you're going to go to some therapeutic thing where you would get your back massaged.
No, because I finally have something to do on Sundays, and that's lay on my couch and watch football all day long and do absolutely nothing else.
Laying on the couch helps your back, too.
The Cincinnati Bengals hit the road to Oakland for the 4 o'clock game that can be seen right here on WYMT tomorrow. The Raiders have won 6 straight against Cincy and 4 of the last 15 meetings in Oakland. Rookie wideout Amari Cooper opens his highly anticipated pro career against the Bengals, and Coach Marvin Lewis and Andy Dalton knows they'll have their hands full.
I mean, we're excited. This is where all the work we've put in. It's now hopefully going to show up on Sunday. You got through the training camp, you got through all the preseason, and now it's time to get everything going. So we're looking forward to it.
Don't turn the ball over. It's the same thing whether you're playing out here, Paul Brown, or on the road. Don't turn the ball over. We've got to do a great job of that. And if you look at the opening games, the ones we've lost, we've lost in that battle. The ones we've won in that battle. And so that's the key.
Another highly anticipated rookie start is down in Tennessee, the 2014 Heisman Trophy winner. Marcus Mariota looks to lead the Titans to a victory down in Tampa, where his counterpart at quarterback will also begin his rookie career in Jameis Winston. Titans head coach Ken Wisenhunt says he is confident in his rookie QB, but Mariota admits They'll be nervous for that first series.
I just don't know how much you can tell by looking at preseason tape, to be honest with you. You've gone against Lovey a couple times. He's a good coach. They're a well-coached football team. I'm sure they'll have a plan for us, and a lot of that we can only speculate on what we see.
I'll get nerves, and I get nerves before every game. It's just a matter of just getting that first play out of the way and focusing on what my job is. That's kind of been how it's always been for me, and I don't really focus on what's going on in terms of my nerves, but it's just got to focus on what's going on at that moment, that play.
The Indianapolis Colts hit the road to Buffalo for a meeting with Rex Ryan and the Bills. I wish I could speak. Expectations surrounding this Colts team couldn't be higher, but quarterback Andrew Luck says he's just excited to finally get the season underway and play football, like me.
Andrew Luck.
It's a lot of things. It's you shoot. The locker room seems empty, a bunch of guys, good guys that aren't here, which is the unfortunate part of the business, but it's also, sort of the team, the guys are going to go out and hopefully try to win some games. Practice, there's certainly, with the game planning, there's a little edge, buzz, whatever that is. It's fun. It's fun that the season's here, and now it's time to roll.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Fun.
It's time for my favorite graphic. It's back. Yes.
Yay.
Thursday Night Football right here on WYMT. Season kicks off Thursday nights. Here we go. It's next Thursday. Denver and the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Broncos will play the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. Game time set for 8:25 p.m. And again, you can watch Thursday Night Football all year long on WYMT. I love that graphic. That's just my favorite
You
thing.
get so excited.
We get to promote our company. That's going to do it for this week's Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night. Lauren did not wear the dress I recommended. Kind of mad about that.
No, I didn't. But next week, Kentucky's at home with Florida. Josh McKinney will actually be there.
Yep. What else do we have?
We've got 2 Appalachian Wireless games of the week, one in high school, Harlan County at Johnson Central, and Kentucky Christian at Morehead State.
That'll be fun. UVA-wise, Union, Cumberland's they're all home as well. For everyone who helps put this show together, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Oh my goodness. Good night. You